Video na aga everyone! Welcome back to my video. Today I'm going to share my reflections for the finals. When I was young, I was very territorial whether it was about my parents or my personal things. I didn't want to share them most of the time. Lalo na pag nakita ko yung parents ko noon na may ibang kargang bata, I became very upset. Iyak pa ko eh. I always made sure then na yung mga gamit ko may initials ko kasi akin yun eh. So natural lang na may marka ko yun, diba? Ganun pa din ako hanggang ngayon, minus dun sa part na hindi pag-share ng parents. You can borrow them if you want anytime. Leaving a mark on my things made me feel assured and secure. I am assured in the sense that I am confident enough to carry my things wherever I go and show it to everyone because even if it has an identical one, no one can claim that what is mine since it possesses a very own identification. With the mark I leave, I am no longer concerned that my valuable items will be lost. If they are, I will be able to find them sooner or later with the mark I inscribe on my personal belongings. They become now unique and personalized and dictating that they are owned by me regardless of whom currently possesses them. It is the same with our country's territory. It must be appropriately defined or marked so that no one can invade and take it away from us no matter what happens. Ang paggamit sa word na Muslim dito, medyo nalito ako kasi pagkakaalam ko, it refers to a person. Most people are unaware of the exact definition of the words Islam and Muslim. Islam is the religion and Muslim refers to the follower of Islam. Also, not all who identify themselves as Muslim are followers of Islam or considered real Muslims. For example, those who self-proclaim themselves as Muslim but do things contrary to the doctrine of Islam are not real Muslims. At saka hindi lahat ng kabilang sa kilalang Muslim tribes are Muslim. Meron kasing Maranao, Tausug, Halagan at iba pa na iba ang sinusunod na relihiyon maliban sa Islam. Pareho lang sa hindi lahat ng Bisaya ay Katoliko at hindi lahat ng Katoliko ay Bisaya. The majority of non-Muslims are unaware of the true definition of the subject words, which is oftentimes upsetting on our part as Muslims, because we Muslims are frequently subjected to criticism, such as being labeled as terrorists, people who are always source of conflict, which is not true. If a terrorist or violent person looked like a Muslim or outwardly identified himself as a one but engaged in inappropriate behavior or the worst forms of violence such as bombing, kidnapping, and assassination to intimidate others, it merely proves that he is not a Muslim at all, period. I am the kind of person who reciprocates kindness with kindness and evilness with not so evil deeds. If ang isang tao ay mabuti sa akin, I'll do my very best to return the same favor. But if someone treated me so badly katulad sa Pasko, hindi naman ako gumaganti. Hindi ko nga lang sila pinapansin pag nagkita kami as if they never exist. I would just close my eyes to their struggles and never lend a hand to the people who hurt me. I will instill in my mind na lang that they are just passers-by that became part of my growing up. Dala-dala ko pa rin ang ugali na yan. Hanggang ngayon, hindi nga lang ako gumaganti, hindi naman ako nakakalimot, hindi rin uso sa akin na pag binato ka ng bato, batuhin mo ng tinapay. Only mature people will do that. Naghintay na lang ako sa karma to do its jobs. It is always there, part of everyone's journey. Tapos just don't touch my reverse scale kasi yung pasensya may hangganan. Stop. Always happens after the conflict, tragedy, disaster, or distressing event. It is never likely to occur at the start of the story, it's always before the conclusion. It was made for the purpose of ending the conflict between two parties. Parents, guidance counselors, and barangay officials, sila yung mga nag-initiate ng peace talk kung kailangan natin sa bahay, sa school, at sa community. Yung pagkakapareho nila is yung pagkakaroon ng mediator that help opposing parties end their dispute after they hurt or harm each other. We humans are born with rationality. Bakit hindi lang din tayo ang mag-initiate ng peace talk kung kailangan, diba? During disagreements, can we pause for a moment and ask for peace talk? before the misunderstanding escalates? Hindi ka naman siguro tatanggihan ng kabilang panig kung maayos ka namang nakikiusap. Why wait for other people to solve our issues if we are old enough to do it? With peace talks occurring first, we can prevent a more major conflict from persisting. Dahil dito, I can't help but look back at what happened 3 years ago, which was the first year of COVID-19 pandemic. I am the kind of person who sets a time frame in life pero na-postpone dahil sa pandemic. I lost my job, my scholarship, and had to withdraw from my dream course. I was very devastated at that time. I planned my life perfectly, but COVID-19 hit me unexpectedly. I didn't know what to do at the time. I didn't know where to begin after everything that had happened. I feel unfairly thrown off the path that I had chosen and worked so hard to pass. Buti na lang andyan si Mama para i-guide at damayan ako. Ngayon, naka-move on na ako. Pero as a habit, I still make a time frame that is connected to the previous one with adjustments nga lang. Different ways to achieve but with the same destination. I'm grateful then not for the pandemic itself but for the lesson it taught me. Before it emerges, I live my life easily and I get everything I pray for. But the situation, the pandemic, proves me otherwise. It taught me the hard way that not all things I wanted could really happen according to how I planned them. Lives have curvy routes, full of unexpected events, just like my life. It is only a matter of how we deal with it, whether we continue to struggle or simply accept the situation. It is still up to us at the end of the day, so be cautious. Whatever you do today can have an impact on your future. Maybe only a few people know that Davao has this kind of history. Kasi kahit ako, recently ko lang din nalaman, we know how progressive Davao City is, and there was also a time pala in the past when Davao became promising, gawa mismo ng isang Hapon. The same nationality na kilala natin bilang isa sa mga mananakop who made the Filipinos' lives devastating. Since the Japanese harassed, maltreated, and killed without mercy at their own free will that time, which gave Filipinos more hard times in that period. But this inform us na yung Hapong hindi lang pala disaster yung pwedeng dalhin, they can also provide prosperity katulad ni Kyozabora. He and his comrades modernized Davao before in his time. Pareho lang to sa tanong na para kanino ka bumabangon, which is considered a simple question but sometimes hard to answer by the majority. It is a fact that not all of us know our purpose in life. Why I'm here in this world, whom do I live for? Then how should I live my life? They are just simple questions but not all of us can grasp the exact meaning of those aforementioned questions. If they are answered accurately, it can be very powerful. During the pandemic, we encountered a very alarming issue aside from the occurrence of virus, and that was suicide, with most of the victims being teenagers. The frequent news about the suicide cases alarmed the public. Ang madalas na dahilan ay hindi nila kayang i-handle yung personal issues and problems nila. But will it happen if they understand their value and purpose? No, I don't think so. Because awareness will give them mental strength and healthy minds to thrive on regardless of how difficult the situation is. Self-awareness regarding our life's purpose and its value is very important. It is vital in overcoming negative issues as it gives us willpower and courage to live. Wake up every day, finish our tasks, and solve our problems in a light manner in order to pursue and reach our aims in life. Pag wala tayo nito, wala din tayong ganang mabuhay. In other words, it can be used as a psychological weapon. The more a person is aware of his value, the more he will love himself to the point that no problem can pull him down. It is just like living with a purpose. It is the same with, hindi mo kasalanan ipinanganak kang mahirap, pero kasalanan mo pag namatay kang mahirap. Poverty does exist, and it's still one of the major societal issues that are hard to eradicate here in the Philippines, even if we are governed by wise and responsible officials. Why? It is all due to the majority of its people and their common characteristics, which I do identify as inappropriate. Katulad na lang ng Filipinos time, palaging late sa usapan, buhay may asawa, inaasa pa sa magulang, and not having family planning. These are just some of the common scenarios that you can see in your surrounding as a Filipino. Ito yung rason kung bakit hindi tayo umuunlad as a whole. I am not enforcing my belief, but that is how I view our country's predicament. Change must begin with us because no matter how much government officials or our parents want us to succeed, if we don't want to make it happen, then all of their efforts will be futile. The individualistic nature of humans is there from birth. Why not use it in a sense of improving our individual lives by not harming our family, society, and even our country at the same time? Not improving ourselves kasi is equivalent to harming our family and society where we belong by being an additional burden to them. Harsh through reality, but doing otherwise is also equivalent to being beneficial to the majority. Helping ourselves is also a choice. If we take this path throughout our journey, we can most of the time do good to our family, society, kahit sa maliit na bagay lang because not being a burden is what matters most. If all of us have that ideology, what does our country look like? How amazing a place can our country be? It must be a wonderful country with wonderful people. It sounds very politician like anyone in this field. It is normally the duty of the public official to serve the public to the best of their ability. But as a common citizen in regards with applying it to myself, I don't quite agree with it at the moment. Siguro ito yung kaibahan ng isang simpleng tao at ng isang politiko. My belief is that I will prioritize myself over other people. This may appear selfish, but it is my principle. I believe that prioritizing myself over others is essential for surviving in this world. After I'm done shaping my life to the point where I gained a foothold where no challenges can pull me down, that is the moment I will start giving to others. Because I also do believe that if I am strong enough independently, I can give more to others by being someone they can lean on. Giving priority to others is not bad. Instead, it is an act of being a good Samaritan. But prioritizing yourself over anyone else is also not evil. It is also not good to be selfish for the entirety of your life at yung pagiging masyadong mapigbigay. It is only a matter of when to give and when to be selfish. Wala dapat masihigit sa isa for the purpose of giving stability. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages. It is only a matter of when and where to use it to have and live a harmonious life. Everything must be in balance. May revolution din pala nangyayari dito, no? So far, I haven't heard of any place or country where there has been nothing but peace since the beginning. Similar to how lives work, there are many bumps, ups, and downs to overcome before obtaining true happiness and peace. Katulad ko, I shed lots of tears, spent a lot of sleepless nights full of roller coaster emotion, and said lots of goodbyes. Lumaki ako na sa kamag-anak kasi OFW yung mama ko at si Papa is living his life to the fullest. Binata lang. Hindi madaling makitira. Your actions are calculated and your decisions are dictated. And you must act and decide in accordance with their wishes. Otherwise, you will face criticism and even abuse. I endure all of it because I am waiting for the time kasi when I can rightfully break free. Kaya pagtungtong ko sa tamang edad, bumukod na ako. I live independently according to what we wanted. My life, my push. Now, I am in my adulthood stage and I know it is not yet the peak of my life and there are still a lot of issues I may encounter, but it is okay, parte yun ng buhay. As of the moment, I am still independently ruling my life according to my will and I am happy with it. Happiness can be ours if we realize our wants and dreams, but most of the time it is hard to achieve or difficult to realize. If we are not self-willed and determined to obtain it, it will remain just that, a hopeful dream. Attaining what we want takes a lot of courage and most of the times we need to make a choice and fight in order to obtain it. But walang masama doon. As long as hindi tayo nakakasama at nakakasakit ng ibang tao, you are free to do what you want. This will be my last video. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it a lot. Love lots.